Here we go, folks. Railroad strike update. It says here, U.S. lawmakers urge Biden to guarantee rail workers sick leave. 70 lawmakers, including Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, urged President Joe Biden to take executive action to guarantee rail workers paid sick days after what has been described as the railroad fight was the product of 8 years of militant rank and file organizing. Now, President Biden, he signed this new law that was passed through the Senate that made it illegal for the railroad workers to strike. But he claims that he promises that railroad workers will receive the sick time and paid sick days off that they have been fighting for. Now, let's see if he actually holds true to this promise or if he forgets again. And there are reports of railroad workers planning to rally at the Capitol. So union representatives and railroad workers supporters plan to rally at the Capitol in Cheyenne tomorrow to advocate for better labor policy. So we're going to see some activity going on. And according to WyomingNews.com, the rally is scheduled to begin at noon and is organized by Wyoming AFL-CIO along with other unions. This after congressional action to block a rail strike and forced labor agreement deflected what would have been a major economic shock to the nation. But it leaves hundreds of workers and their families in Wyoming with the same quote unquote inhumane scheduling policies and railroad employees fearing they could be fired and left with no choice but to continue working through severe fatigue and forego taking sick days. Which is a serious health and safety concern that also puts the general public at risk for the sake of the railroads making multi-million dollar or even billion-dollar profits. Workers are essentially on call, folks, 365 days a year and are penalized under a point system for taking days off. It's immoral and inhumane for a multi-billion-dollar profiteering company long supported by the federal government to treat its employees in this way. This is from a recent news report, folks. Hopefully these folks can get what they really deserve and what honestly they should have already had and they really need. The human component of it is for the fact that, you know, you want to why not keep your employees healthy to continuously make you a shit ton of money, besides the fact that there is a safety risk and safety concern and to the public's concern of these workers possibly overworked and fatigued operating these deadly machines, which odds are if you were to see a catastrophic failure as a result of not giving these folks paid sick time off, that would then ultimately put your company in a position to possibly lose money for the fact that the trains are being damaged, the freight's being lost, the rails are being down, and the cost to get that stuff repaired and fixed. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, it says that the deal under the labor agreement forced by Congress, railroad workers will receive an immediate 14.1% wage increase and a 24% increase by 2024 based on 2020 rates. According to the National Railway Labor Conference, and union rail workers will also see increased health benefits. However, the deal includes only one additional personal leave day, far short of what unions demanded. So that's a personal leave day. It's not a paid sick day. And then the deal essentially allows railroad companies to continue using penalizing points-based systems that union representatives, including the Smart Transportation Division, Local 65 in Wyoming, say compel employees to work when fatigued or sick, creating unsafe conditions. Folks, that's not good, especially thinking about it, you know, as a fellow employee, coworker, and you know that other employees and coworkers are sick, but they have to come to work, then it puts you at risk. You know, I'd have to find a way to get out of there, which actually I have to say that there has been an increase in an influx in railroad workers actually connecting with me on the network, patreon.com/Kevin24/7, trying to find ways of getting out of the railway system, maintaining their income level and or increasing it while looking to build out future retirement plans that they will be in control of and actually will pay more than what the railroads can provide. and also maintain their benefits, their health and dental benefits. It says that the Berkshire Hathaway-owned BNSF Railway, for example, launched its high-vis attendance policy in February. It's established a point-based system that allows employees to bank points by being available on high-impact days and penalizes them for taking certain days off. If an employee loses all their points, he or she can be fired. You know, this is a huge concern. Folks are really worried about that right now, and they do not want to lose their jobs. High-vis and other penalty-based systems are the result of the railroads instituting several rounds of layoffs, in part due to declining demand for coal before the pandemic. And according to local union members, since then, railroads have been instituting attendance policies to meet recovering demand with fewer workers. They're trying to get more done with less. They are trimming where they can, and it's all about making money. It's all about profit to them. They have no care, concern, or regard for the quality of life. It's all about making money, and they've got the government and the president on their side. What more could you ask for? It says here that 70+ lawmakers tell Biden, you can and you must provide rail workers paid sick leave, and that as president, you and your administration have a number of tools at your disposal to make sure rail workers are guaranteed paid sick leave. Possible negative recourse from a lack of action taken by the White House could result in railroad workers leaving the industry, seeing thousands of train conductors and engineers clocking out for good after warnings of exodus after Congress forced this new deal. A devastating blow that would be felt by major corporations and U.S. consumers. It could slow down the delivery of food, fuel, and online orders while strangling already struggling supply chains. The economy was almost upended by a nationwide strike before lawmakers intervened last week to enforce a deal many workers found lacking. Those who were holding out hope for a strong contract might look for a new job after the deal failed to provide paid sick leave or put an end to strict attendance policies and strenuous schedules that required workers to be on call constantly, rail workers say. Now, it says here, Hugh Sawyer, an Atlanta-based engineer at Norfolk Southern, says, I don't think you just see half of the workforce disappear, but you'll see a good percentage, and we can't afford for anybody to leave because we're so undermanned as it is. So again, folks, not only is it the co-workers, the other employees of the companies that are feeling the pain of this as they know that they're putting their lives at risk with the potential health concerns and the fatigue concerns of their other coworkers showing up to work. But now they're also worried about the possible pain and problems that are going to ensue as more workers leave or choose to leave or decide to leave, quit, get fired, or whatever it may be. And the railroad companies are going to continuously push for less of a workforce, getting more done with less, putting more of that burden on the folks that are stuck or perceived to be stuck or stay or trying to work to get that retirement plan. And it's just, it's one after another. Any exodus of workers would only exacerbate staffing shortages brought on by railroads laying off around 30% of their workforce over the past 6 years. That in turn has led to exhausted workers and persistent days and cancellations when demand for ship products spiked. Business groups have warned that the disruptions, which are driven by staffing shortfalls, help fuel inflation. Sawyer, who serves as treasurer of grassroots rail reform group Railroad Workers United, said that younger workers who place more emphasis on work-life balance will be the first to leave. Well, the younger workers have that they have more of a desire to create that work-life balance sooner at a younger age and are nowhere near the level of retirement that the others are kind of like feeling like they don't want to walk away from. So that would make sense that we're going to see more and more and less. So more and more younger workers leaving, less and less younger workers entering in. And then it really puts the burden on the older workforce, and more than likely seeing more of them offered some form of incentive to delay their retirement. But ultimately, that's going to be a losing battle because eventually they're going to run out of those folks willing to do that. But it says that business groups have warned that the disruptions. Let's see here. Oh, it says that most of these people live in or around Metro Atlanta. The economy's booming. They will find a job elsewhere. hey, that's a plus, for the folks looking to leave. Workers say that some employees could leave as soon as they receive back pay and cash bonuses, which will average roughly $16,000 per person. Railroads will dole out that money within 60 days. So we're going to keep an eye on that and make sure that they actually do deliver this back pay. But, we could see a mass exodus of workers once they get that money and they dip. The Association of American Railroads, the AAR, said in a statement that carriers hear workers' concerns and agree that conversations about work-life balance issues must be continued. The industry group said that railroads' train and engine workforce has grown 8% since January. And this is all lip service, folks. Oh, yeah, these conversations must be continued. Okay. Why do they need to be continued? Why don't you just take action and provide a solution? How about you just do that? The benefits and compensation packages are part of why that is the case, both of which are seeing historic increases through this deal, with average wages and compensation rising to $160,000 over the course of the contract. Railroading is difficult work, and our employees are compensated accordingly in recognition of that, according to the AAR. The contract signed into law negotiated with the help of the Biden administration provides 24% raises over 5 years and allows workers to take 3 unpaid days off for medical appointments, a provision that was included in previous proposals. Now, again, they can take the time off. It's not, let's see here, they can take 3, they're unpaid. They're unpaid, so they're taking a hit, but also they have to schedule these far, far, far in advance. And sometimes medical emergencies are just that. Medical emergencies. You don't know they're going to happen. So then it's like, if you need to take it now, not only is it an unpaid day, but it's going to hit you on the points and ultimately hurt your employment. Knowing that these railroad companies are then going to try to retaliate against you, it's a dangerous place to work, folks, is all I can say. But it doesn't offer any paid sick days, is what it says, and it adjusts schedules or remove attendance policies and penalizes workers for missing time to attend family gatherings or other scheduled events. Folks, this is ongoing. I hate it. And granted, there are some folks out there, some other union organizations, some other unions that accepted the terms of these contract negotiations and are perfectly fine with the situation. But the mass majority of the workers from the 4 unions that didn't accept, they're the majority. The majority of the workers are in these 4 unions, from what I understand, that are not happy with the conditions that they are being forced to take after having this new law signed in by President Joe Biden. But we'll see. Once these folks get their back pay, comment down below. Are you a railroad worker? Comment down below. Are you a railroad worker and waiting to get your back pay so that then you can then leave? And also, if you're a railroad worker and you leave before you get your back pay, do they still have to pay it to you? That's a good question too. Anybody looking for opportunities and ways to get away from the daily grind, 9 to 5, some of these dead end jobs that are just literally just like eating your life away with providing you with no ability to even dream of the idea of a quality of life, and you want to find ways to build income on your own, start your own businesses, become CEOs, start generating money, additional income streams, ultimately moving towards passive income streams, building investment portfolios, investments for beginners, building businesses for beginners, side hustles for beginners, any of that, retirement planning, all this can be done, and we're doing it on a regular basis with the help of everybody in the network. Folks, come on over. Don't be shy. Please engage, comment, talk, chat with everybody. Send me a DM, and let's get above and beyond what the current situation is, and live a much happier, much enjoyable life that doesn't, revolve around high levels of stress and anxiety tied into these jobs that these companies, they don't care about you. They only care about themselves and the money that they make and the shareholders. Oh yeah, and their ability to maintain power and leverage with political figures so that they can continuously get their way. Folks, pay attention, be smart, be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.